Good morning, this is Pastor Rick, and I want to welcome you to the Sunday Forum for this Sunday, January 23rd. We're going to talk this morning about the annual meeting, and so we have invited Pastor Steve to the Sunday Forum. Welcome.
Thank you. I always enjoy being with you because you get a lot of information from me.
All right, so that's our goal for this session, is to get some information out of you and focus on this very important meeting that's coming up. So let's maybe start with just the details. What do people need to know about this annual meeting coming up here in just a few days?
Okay, well, we've announced it already in congregational setting on Sunday morning, but it comes down to the date, which is Tuesday, and that is the 25th of January at 5:30, and it will be held this year in the sanctuary. We're going to be on holy ground, Rick, when we have it. We'll be in the sanctuary.
So that's different than in years past, where we're usually in the Family Life Center, right?
That's right. We think this will be a better setting this year because we're going to also live stream it and make it available to people. If you can't be there, you can watch it, but hopefully you can be there.
So because we're having it in the sanctuary, it'll probably be a shorter meeting, right? About an hour or so?
I always say any meeting over an hour goes downhill, so we wanted to keep it to about an hour's time, and that's usually what it is.
And will there be food to eat or dinner? I know in the past, pre-COVID, we'd often offer dinner, but I don't think we're doing that this year.
No, this is not a major buffet or anything like that, but there's going to be a few snacks available for people to enjoy prior to the meeting.
Great. And we're actually having more than one meeting, right? I mean, it'll be one session, but we have to divide it up, so to speak, right?
Well, I can have fun with you at this point, right?
Okay.
Because we are having, the annual meeting will go hopefully from about 5:30 to 6:30, and then we're going to adjourn for the purpose of having another meeting, which involves you, by the way. We are going to vote to call Pastor Bliese from a term call to an associate pastor call, which has an extended portion of your ministry here that we're so excited about.
So hopefully that doesn't last too long.
No, your ministry, we want that to last long, but the voting, hopefully that'll be short.
All right. So at an annual meeting, more and more we tell some big stories. And there's some big themes from this past year, but also those themes that are taking us into the new year. What might we expect as part of those big themes that'll be lifted up?
You know, I was thinking this morning when I was driving in that in 1999, the first time I ever preached here, I gave some sermon on the basis of people perish without a vision, right? So we've always been about vision here at Emmnauel, and we've through the years not only kind of built upon that, but it's become a congregational vision. It's not my vision, it's a congregational vision. So we're going to revisit that, we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to try to use a PowerPoint to show the advancement of one church in multiple communities. And I think you're always going to see something new on the horizon with our ministry here.
And I bet we'll have opportunity to hear from Pastor Will, Pastor Jose, Deacon Jim about some of those stories. What's going on out at the park, what's going on at ECC, what's going on in the live service, right?
Yeah. Well, they're the best at telling the stories because they're always involved in those ministries. So yes, if we have questions, we're going to call them up and give the answers and extend that.
So it's important to come to the annual meeting, again, either in person or live stream, to hear some of those big themes, wrapping up what has been achieved this year, how God has blessed us, and where we're going in the new year. It's sort of that, without a vision, the people perish, right? And you catch that vision. But also at annual meetings, sometimes there are some big votes, right? What should our people expect? What are some of the big votes? Very, very important. One of the reasons we need a quorum, right, is so that our business is official.
That's right. Well, every time we have an annual meeting, I guess you'd have to say the biggest vote usually is for the annual operating budget.
Right.
And we're happy this past year because even amidst all the struggles, we were blessed. I want to thank everybody in the congregation for that because there was a strong push at the end of the year which helped us make last year's operating budget. And so alongside that gratitude, we'll make plans for the next year and vote upon that.
Now, when some people come to the annual meeting, they're just experts at reading the financial documents. And so maybe without going into detail, what's the big picture financially? How did we do at Emmnauel Lutheran Church financially this year with the budget?
Well, again, because of COVID and people not being able to come as would be a normal fashion, we fell a little bit behind. But the great thing is that people discovered at the end of the year And some of this had to do with taxes. They had some extra ability to give.
Right.
And we are thankful that they chose to give it to our ministry, and we closed the gap and ended the year very strong.
So there are going to be some strong story told
Oh, yeah.
about the finances from the past, but also, again, as you've heard, we'll be voting on the budget moving forward. So
Exactly.
that's important business.
Yeah.
So as you said, Pastor Steve, one of the biggest votes always in an annual meeting centers around the budget.
Right.
Now, who can vote for the budget or for calling a pastor? How does that work?
Well, first of all, our congregation is made up of members that are called technically full members and associate members. Everybody's involved here in this congregation. But we get down to some technicalities, and that is when it comes to voting for budgets or for, in this term, the call process, it's for people who are full members of the congregation. Now, if you have any question about that, you can always call Gina, and she'll check your status, and we'd love to have you become a full member. But it's not meant to disenfranchise, it's just constitutionally, that's how it needs to happen.
Wonderful, that's helpful. Any final thoughts that you want to pass along to us about the importance of this meeting? Again, either joining in person or via live stream.
Yeah, I've got a little thing down here I'm going to hold up. It's called the feasibility, 22 feasibility study prospectus, all right? And we're going to have these available. Now, what this is, Rick, and you've been well aware of all our efforts here, is to put together what is kind of a case statement for what we hope to be the next year, and years ahead, I should say. But this will be discussed, implemented in different ways, and if you are at the annual meeting, what's wonderful is you'll be able to pick a copy of this up. And by the time you go through it and see all these different stages of our planned growth, some numbers attached to it, but also some new visions alongside, I think people are going to see that this is very professionally done and a great read.
A great read with a lot of details that you'll just want to get a hold of, again, coming to the annual meeting. Also, obviously, the Sunday Forum on Sunday, you'll be able to talk to anyone who comes about other details, other stories, other things that they might want to know about the annual meeting.
Yeah, I love that because I learned so much. One of my favorite things here is learning from the congregation, and the way you learn is by having the dialogues back and forth. The other good thing I just discovered is that Teresa Shaw, our executive director, is going to be at the adult forum, so anything I can't answer, she can.
There you go. Take it away, Teresa. So once again, want to thank you for joining us on the Sunday Forum as we talk about this important meeting coming up, the annual meeting on January the 25th in the sanctuary at 5:30 p.m. But also Sunday Forum, where you get to talk to Pastor Steve about the congregation, the vision, and where we're going in the coming years. So again, thank you for joining us, Pastor Steve, for the Sunday Forum, and thank you for being with us. Bye-bye now.